All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Blake Jamieson here. Happy Friday. I'm very excited to be back on track with Friday artist interviews and today's guest, Daniel Jacob Horine, who makes these amazing pop fly comics. Is that what you call them? Yeah, pop fly comics.
Mm-hmm.
Really amazing work, man.
Thanks.
I love it.
Appreciate it.
I have the Ricky Henderson one too, the Man of Steel, but I just moved to a new space and it is still in boxes. But this one's awesome. That I think Matt brought this over just the other day.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gorgeous, man. I'm excited to chat about everything from like the process, the creation process, to I'm curious about the printing. I mean, I think they look like a vintage comic book cover.
Mm-hmm.
It looks amazing. So I want to chat about all that, man.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Yeah, and thank you for spending your Friday evening with us.
Oh, this is awesome. It's my joy, my treat.
That's great.
My joy. Your treat,
yeah.
My joy.
I love it, man. So I guess for starters, let's hear your origin story. What's your background in art, and now specifically in like sports art? What's kind of led you here?
Sure. I grew up and was kind of trained in the fine arts world. That was my thing. That's where I thought, I was going to head. Is my earliest memories that I can think of. It was spent drawing with a pencil, paintbrush, whatever.
Yep.
And in the last 15 years or so, I shifted over to digital. Because it's tricky. You want to make a living. It's difficult as an artist. So I definitely didn't abandon fine arts, but I wanted to widen what I was capable of doing, to give myself my best chance. So that's kind of been the art trajectory is that, and then woven throughout is just the sports narrative. Growing up, my dad I'm from Los Angeles area, grew up there, and the Dodgers are my spiritual team.
Uh-huh.
The Braves are my chosen team, but the Dodgers are my spiritual team.
Cool.
And hometown heroes, going to Dodger games with my dad, and just cut my teeth there at Dodger Stadium. Just fell in love with the game, and have never fallen out of love with it since. We've had some separation periods, sure.
Yeah.
But I've always felt this just profound love for that wonderful, beautiful game.
That's awesome. I love it, man. Well, yeah, it's beautiful work.
Thanks.
Are you doing these like analog with ink and pen and paper, or is it digital? Or are you doing it on an iPad or?
I'm doing it on a trackpad of an old laptop. Is
okay.
What I'm doing that on.
Wow, that's amazing, man. And like in like Photoshop or Illustrator or something.
I start in Illustrator. That's where I do all the basically everything. And it's just a clean vector image that I bring into Photoshop, and then I do all the give it all the love and the age and the wear that it needs.
Mm-hmm. So. Mm-hmm. That's awesome, man.
Thanks.
And then so like I noticed on this one, so this one says number 346. I'll show people the back of 424.
Mm-hmm.
Is the 424 significant for any reason? Like, or did you do 424 of a bunch of them, or was that a random number?
No, that is top 2020. I was absolutely like the minute I saw that project and how it works, I'm like, that's it. All the stars aligned and the gears locked into place in my brain. I'm like, that's what I need to do.
Sure.
And so it's this.
Oh, so the print run.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Man, for that, I mean, that's a solid number.
that one was my best ones by a bit.
Yeah.
I
love like the cardstock that it's printed on.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing that at home, or you have a printer you work with?
No, I have a printer I work with on doing that. That's I think 300 pound double thick cardstock.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, and so for those of you, I mean, it's definitely got some heft to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then also this. Talk to me about this. The barcode and hologram and everything. What's that?
Yeah, it
looks official.
What's that?
It looks very official.
It is official. No, it's just something I do to keep track. I used to keep track of every person. I knew what number they had, but that just became really unwieldy really quick. So now I just know kind of a range that these are in.
Sure. So these are like sequentially numbered.
Yes, sir.
So there's only one that says this number or whatever.
Correct.
That's cool. Is there, if I scan that, does it have any, can it do anything?
I've never scanned it. I have no idea.
I think that would be, that'd be interesting to see. Man, that is so cool. And I know you just, you did the Hammering Hank one recently. Is that one still available? I saw someone in the chat saying they wanted to order one tonight and wanted to know if you ship to Canada.
Yes, it's open till the Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. The Hammer of the Gods is what it's called. And I do ship to Canada. This week, USPS changed some of their international stuff. So I'm trying to figure that out a bit this week. I've gotten 5 or 6 of my Canadian friends saying, what's your problem?
Right.
So I'm trying to figure that out. So I'll make sure it works. So even if we can't get it through their site regularly, I'll make sure Canada gets it.
Cool. I love that. Also, we have a mutual friend. I saw Matthew Lee Rosen in the chat. What's up, man? I know you did a collab with him with the Nolan Ryan Express.
Yeah,
that was really cool. That was pretty recent, right?
Yeah, just a couple months back.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, we did a Mark McGuire project together. And actually, Matt, if you're watching, I'm sorry that I didn't call you back today. Update, I did get the printer in and upstairs. We paid a random FedEx worker on the street delivering a package to like help me and my roommate carry this printer that we bought up just through the second floor. But it's huge, man. It's a Epson SureColor P9000, which is like 44 inches wide.
Sounds heavy.
Printer. And then but what I think of like a printer that prints 44 inches, I was thinking would be like, I don't know, 54, 60 inches maybe. It's like 80 inches long and it weighs 300 pounds.
Holy cow.
And we got it up. But also we thought we were going to put it in this office. So this is like a live workspace. We're in the studio now and there's like a couple bedrooms and an office and a kitchen and stuff. We thought we were going to put it in the office, but we wouldn't even be able to fit it in the hallway, and turn it to get in. So we put it in the kitchen.
It's a conversation piece now.
Yeah, it sure is. So it's like stove, refrigerator, giant 80-inch printer.
It's like back in the day when TVs and radios were furniture. They were part of your living every day. It's
statement piece.
Old school.
Definitely. That's awesome, man. So do you do now is art, do you do that full time or do you have, is it a side hustle?
It's a side hustle. I work for LinkedIn and it's a fantastic company. Love working there. And this is just something I stick in betwixt and between whenever I can do it, nights and weekends, and full-time husband, full-time father, and full-time employee, and then kind of doing this when I can.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And are you still in the LA area?
I am. I'm just outside of LA County in Ventura. It's just a bit out of LA and close to the ocean, and I love it here.
Yeah. So that is up. Is Ventura north of LA County?
Yeah, it's like northwest, like up and to the left a bit.
Yeah. I lived in Santa Monica for a little while.
Okay. So so if you just take the 101 and just keep going, it's about a half an hour before you hit Santa Barbara County is Ventura.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, my dad says west.
Yep.
That's rad, man. And LinkedIn, that's a cool gig. I think LinkedIn has really made a comeback, I feel like, in the last 3 or 4 years. Like it's become more of a content hub. I think they've done a really good job with promoting video content and written content. It's been a place that I've used over the years to promote my art with moderate success, because I think there are plenty of people there that appreciate art, because a lot of people appreciate art, and very little competition of other artists that are consistently posting their art projects or art related stuff. So
Yeah, you're totally right on, and just as a company itself, it's just a fantastic place. They're a company that really walks the talk really well, and really cares about doing well in the world and being responsible for what you put out there. I feel very fortunate to work there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. They have or I guess you work from home. Probably everybody works from home now.
At the moment, yeah, but they do have our office in Carpinteria, which is in Santa Barbara County. So
got it. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
On the art side of things, do you like for Hank Aaron, for example? Did you do Hank because he had passed and it was like timely, or was that something you already had in the works?
I did not have it in the works. It was because it was timely. The second Popfly print that I had done was Hammer and Hank, and it was a young Hank Aaron, early career. The comic was made. Actually, I think I have it here. I can find it. I was almost prepared. Let's see. There we go. I don't know if it's gonna be backwards on your end. No, it's not. But so this was the first Hank Aaron that I had done. It was the second piece that I had done, and this was in a similar fashion as everything else. It's available for a moment, and then the print run is locked, and it is what it is. And so that being the second one that I did, I think it's a print run of 13. So not a lot of people got the opportunity to have that in their house. And so
it's cool because then they know it's special.
Right? It's you want your art in as many people's homes as you can, but I also want to keep my word when I say I'm not going to reprint it again. I'm not going to reprint it. So several days after he passed, I get lots of message. Please re-release it. And like I can't do that. But I thought it would be a great bookend if I did another one that was early career Hammer and Hank. And then I did the one that's available this week is Hammer of the Gods. It's a champion, fully realized, looking backwards. Not a young professional looking forwards. He's a 42-year-old man looking backwards, and I thought it'd be a great bookend to the first one, and folks can have my rendition of Hank Aaron in their homes without also reprinting the other one. So right. So with much thought, and reverence and respect, I put it out there. Now I'm a Braves guy too, and it's an honor to just draw that wonderful human, and it was also important to me. I want to make sure that we give back too. So a portion of those of the sales of that is going to the Hank Aaron Chasing the Dream Foundation as well.
That's awesome, man. Do you have a favorite like baseball memory, from going to games as a kid or it could be as an adult?
I do. And anyone who's ever watched any listened to any podcast of me or any interview, the subject always goes to Dale Murphy. And I've told the story several times, but when I was a kid, Dale, and as an adult, Dale Murphy is my guy. He's was my favorite player as a kid. I still collect stuff as an adult. Yeah, love Dale Murphy. So as a kid, being in Los Angeles, you don't see a lot of Braves games. You only see them when they play the Dodgers. So my dad got tickets to Braves versus Dodgers, and it was my first time seeing Dale Murphy live in the flesh, and I was absolutely excited to see him. I can't highlight or bold that enough. I was so excited. Yeah. And I brought a big stack of cards this big with me, and expecting what? I don't know. I don't know he's going to sign 50 cards. No. Yeah. But I brought them on my excitement, and we had seats on field level behind home plate ish. And my dad always brought me there early so I can see batting practice, and I love collecting autographs, and so it just gave me time to just roam around and see what I can see and get whoever autograph I could. And so I'm sitting there in my seat waiting for the game to start. I look over the visitors' dugout by right field. There's number 3. There's Dale Murphy. So I got my big stack of cards and my Sharpie, and I hustled down there. And you know how it is at baseball games. It's the swarm of conglomeration of children just clustered around Dale Murphy. So I get there and try to get into line, whatever line was forming to get Dale Murphy's autograph. So signing. And finally it's my turn. Like I get to see my hero, and I'm in front of him, card and pen, and he's like, sorry guys, gotta go get ready for the game. And he didn't sign my cards.
Oh no.
And you know, I was not too old to cry. Let me tell you, I was probably 10 or 11 or so, and I cried all the way back to my seat, and made my mom cry too because she was so sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, but did not dim my flame for being a Dale Murphy fan. Dale went on to the Phillies and then to the Rockies, and I got another chance to see him at a Rockies game. Mm-hmm. And he only spent, I think, 32 games on the Rockies, so he was barely there for just a moment. Mm-hmm. But got tickets there to see Dale, and I think this is my first time seeing him since my whatever you want to call that happened several years back with the Braves. Yeah. And anyway, so Dad brought me there early, just like before, and I'm hanging out with left foul pole and during batting practice, and I got a foul ball during BP, and I'm so excited, and I take this ball back to my folks. They're same seats as before, field level behind home plate, and I've never caught anything before or since at any game ever, and so I'm so excited. And then as I'm telling them, I see down the right field line, there's number 3, but now in purple and black, signing autographs. So I take my ball and I hustle over there. And same thing, you know, the kids are swarming around him, and I get into the line, and you know, ball and pen. Dale takes it, he signs it. And I float back to my seat. I watched the game, and it was you know, not a super memorable at bat he had, and so that was that. Got his autograph there. And the game after that, I would always check the box scores. You know, see how did Murph do? I would check the box scores in the newspaper every day. Mm-hmm. This is obviously pre-internet, mm-hmm. And you know, Murph, he wasn't in the lineup. Next day, Murph wasn't in the lineup. Next day, Murph wasn't in the lineup. Maybe 3 or 4 days passed, Murph wasn't in the lineup. And then in the paper, it reads, Dale Murphy retires. So just by stupid luck.
It was his last game.
Last at bat ever. I got to get a foul ball to bring redemption to that sad little story.
Yeah.
Kid, and got to see his last at bat. It's a lovely story, and I got to tell it to Murph in person a while back, and you know, it was a group of guys around me when I was telling it, and so I'm halfway through the story, just telling him the bummer part, and he's like, "Well, thanks, Daniel. Thanks for the story."
Yeah.
But you know, but I got to say that it had a great ending. So that's my treasured memory there.
Yeah. And I see you have the Dale Murphy cover Power Alley.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Kind of like got the DC look going on.
Yep, got the DC there. Look, this one is signed by Mr. Murph himself there.
Oh, that's so cool, man. That's rad. How many did he just sign? The one for you?
He signed a couple. One thing that I do as often as I can is if I can partner with the player themselves and collaborate with them.
Yeah.
On the piece, and as adding a bit of fun and value to it, they will often sign a couple that I will just slip into random customers' orders. So that's a nice surprise. Yeah, it is. So Dale and I have become friends over the last couple of years, and he was the first athlete I got to work with, and was super generous and signed several and how cool is that? Oh, yeah. If I could only go back and tell my little 10-year-old self.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah. That's great, man. Yeah, I mean, I got through Project 2020, I get connected with my childhood hero, Mark McGuire. Mm-hmm. And it's a trip, man. Being able to like talk to, you know, those guys is really cool. You know, same thing. 10-year-old me wouldn't believe it. It is cool. And it's this weird thing that's like, and I still haven't found the right description for it, but you know, as a kid, you're these little kid eyes looking up at adult hero, and then now you're an adult
looking straight at adult hero, and there's still just as much as that like giddy excitement as a kid, but you're also an adult, and like you're on a I don't want to say peer level, but you're both adults, and so there's this like mix of I totally want to freak out right now, but then he's also a dude.
Yeah, totally, man.
So,
that's awesome.
But yeah, it's been a great experience getting to know Murph and working with him. I got to design a bunch of his merchandise and awesome experience.
That's really cool, man. What's in the cards next? Do you know like your upcoming subject list? Do you have them picked out or some in mind that you think you're gonna get around to? Like, how does that work? Your production kind of workflow.
It's chaotic. It's chaotic. Yeah, I have the way I've described it. It's like just a big bingo cage rolling around of ideas and little balls bouncing around. And so I just keep thinking about it and thinking about it. I do a lot of work just thinking, before I even get to the page. And this is part of it, not only designing it in my head, but just kind of thinking through the stories and the character. I keep calling them characters, but that's really what they are. And just kind of seeing what rises to the surface. I have a couple things that I work on, almost like a mixing desk for music. I got the faders and whatnot. So I'm working on a couple different things, and one might get louder in the mix, or one might pull back. And so just kind of playing with the mix and seeing what comes out. And I think usually by Friday I'll have it narrowed down and work a long weekend and get through it. But so I've got and I usually don't give much hints, but I got a new one settled for this Sunday. I was gonna do it last week actually, but I put that on the shelf and made sure that we got to Hank Aaron.
Yeah, for sure. So if I go on your site, like I'm looking in the retired pop flies. So for example, the Curse of the Bambino. Is there somewhere where that people can go to see like what the print run was? So do people know, or only if they get it, then it says on the back?
There is a Facebook group I have, just like the Pop Fly collecting community. If you search for it on Facebook, and I have a list there. I'm going to go back and actually add it to the site.
Yeah. I think it would be helpful. I think also because when you have small print runs, people will be like, "Ooh, I could get like a one of maybe I'll get a 1 of 12."
Yeah.
I think could be a cool sales tool for you, and fun for them to know.
Yeah, I'm. It's just a matter of just when I do it. It's one of those things. I'm sure you have a very long to get to list of your own. I don't know if I'm frozen. There we go.
Here we go. Let's see. You can hear me, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. There we go. All right. Yeah, man, it's beautiful work, man. It's really cool.
Thank you.
I'm stoked. In the chat. Let's see what else. Who is your favorite current a modern player that's playing now?
Modern player. I love probably Acuna Jr. I love. It's always fun when you get this young explosive player that just explodes onto a team. He reminds me of when Yasiel Puig joined the Dodgers. Just like this explosion on a team. And again, I'm from LA, and so a lot of my friends are from the area too. And so for a good 6 months, my Facebook feed, every other post was, "I'm at a Dodger game. I'm at a Dodger game." Right. So I love that kind of fire that they bring to a franchise, and so Acuna was like the latest one for me to experience was that. So
yeah. Matt had a good question. He said, "Ask about being on the MLB Network and the hot stove cover."
Yeah. Oh, do I have? Oh, I don't think I have one of those with me right now. But yeah, the most random piece of happenstance a couple months back. Harold and Matt are interviewing C. Trent Rosencrantz, writer for The Athletic, and he's someone who's bought several of my prints, and they're in the background of him when he's being interviewed. So he's talking to them about something else, and Harold's like, "What's that in the background?" And,
That's awesome.
And I couldn't have asked for a better pitch if I paid him.
Yeah.
So he turns around and he takes it and he says, "Oh, here's Daniel Jacob, and his Instagram handle is Daniel Jacob the Maker. He does these once a week, you know." And it was like, it was as if he had his elevator pitch ready to go.
That's great.
And from there, I got in contact with the network, and then oh, my wife is going to grab the cover that I'm talking about. She's watching upstairs.
That's awesome.
And I got connected with the network from there, and a couple months later, got to be on the show. It was last December. I got to be on the show. I got to talk for 8 minutes on the MLB Network about baseball and comic art. You know, that's cool. Again, another thing that you know, if I could only tell my 10-year-old self.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you play too as a kid or just watch?
I played. That's a very generous term to say that I played. Yeah. I was on a team.
Yeah.
And then one of the fun things I got to do is I did a cover for the guys as well. So
that's awesome.
So sent that into them as well, and actually Harold just signed it on the air yesterday. They did a few seconds on it, and they're going to send it back to me. So
yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was
another bucket list thing. Just check it out.
Seriously, I'm adding bucket list items before I even know that they're bucket list items to add. You know.
Yeah. I mean, that's great, man. I love to see it. Man, what else? Outside of like the baseball comic book art, are you doing are there other projects that you work on? Or is it kind of like that's the niche you're dialed in on that only?
That's pretty much all I'm doing right now, because like I mentioned, full-time work, father, husband. Right. You know, there is barely any time for this as it is.
Yeah.
So I'm, and the once a week clip is for my circumstance, and you know, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
So there's just not much room for it at the moment. I've done other baseball projects leading up to this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did a series called Kingdoms of MLB. It's on my Instagram if you check it out. But I reinterpreted all 30 Major League Baseball teams as He-Man Masters of the Universe characters. So instead of the Dodgers, it was like Dodgor,
right,
and things like that. And so I did all 30 teams. I did all the NBA teams, all the NFL teams, and that was sort of the last project I had done.
Oh yeah, I see them now.
The comic stuff.
That's really cool. Those would be cool printed as cards.
Yeah, I
mean, that's what they look like to me. That's great.
Yeah, I have a couple sticker packs of them. What I would have loved to make like a series, a figure series, but that is not an accessible
learning curve. Yeah,
learning curve.
And resources and stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So
that's really cool.
Thanks.
That's awesome, man. I love it. Let's see here. My Ithaca 2324 said, "Ask Daniel about his charity work."
Oh, yeah. It's something that's been instilled in me from my parents. Is just to give back. Mm-hmm. And my dad recently passed away not too long ago, but he's a superhero of mine. Right. He would go to other countries and build schools and hospitals and whatever was needed there, and wow. he would come back with empty suitcases because he would take clothes, and then as he would get clothes, he'd give them away, so he'd come back with empty suitcases, and whether or not my folks had anything to give, whether it was feast or famine, they always gave. And so that is that's just what you do. You give, and you give quietly, and so it's just part of what's important to me, and it's a joy to be able to do it. And the series, thank goodness, is doing well.
Mm-hmm.
So it puts me in a place, and I am able to do that, and it brings me so much joy to be able to do it. So,
are there specific like foundations or charities that you work with on an ongoing basis, or is it tied to the project? Like you said, the Hank Aaron one, right, is going to his foundation.
Yeah, it's mostly tied to whatever I'm working on at that moment. Like I did Roberto Clemente. I gave to his foundation. Dave Parker, Hank Aaron. I can't think of anything else, but it's timely to what I'm working on too. And then also, like a week or two ago, I just asked folks what's the most important charity to you and why. Mm-hmm. So I got a list of what was important to people, and donated to everyone who spoke up. And it was really nice, because you get to connect with people in a different way, because of the why, and right. not just I'm passionate about, I don't know, cystic fibrosis research or whatever. It's like, it's because it affected me or my parents or someone close to me. And so it was really I don't know, it was meaningful to me to be able to kind of hear the why behind the what for a lot of folks, and just, yeah, it was meaningful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll usually as much as I can tie in charity elements to the different art projects that I work on. Pre-Tops, it was a big part of my business, and a good way to get in the good graces or get the attention of some of the bigger, more prolific athletes, because a lot of them have their own foundations or work closely with one. And so rather than like hitting up the athlete and trying to like sell them a painting, say, hey, let's work together. I'll make the painting. You sign it. We'll sell it together. We'll donate all the money to your charity. That worked really well with a handful of athletes. And it feels really good getting your art out there.
Yeah.
And, getting some more eyeballs on the art than maybe there would be without the charity component. And then obviously it does good. And yeah, it's great. And then on the business side too, oftentimes the people that are most philanthropic and active in those type of communities are also tend to be like art collectors with excessive or some excess income, because so it's really kind of wins all around.
Yeah. I think in my situation it's similar, but I'm not doing giant pieces. I'm doing small small prints, and so the same outcome, but in a different way. It's in volume. I get to through a lot of people donate a little bit, and make a big impact through a lot of people, and they get to have art in their home, and feel good about it, and that it's there and it served a purpose,
Yeah. I know you did the Negro Leagues baseball museum as well.
Yes, sir.
What was that, the Ernie Banks?
No, that was also another thing I don't have with me. But don't bother getting it, honey. It's okay. But it was a different setup than I usually do. It was a set of 16 like mini prints. Okay. I thought about it in terms of, it's a virtual art show. So that's how I was thinking about it. And so we can't go and show our work at the gallery. So let's bring the gallery to you. So I did little 6 or 7 inch prints, like 16 different of them. So you can lay it out in a nice. Large square and
like oversized cards kind of.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's really cool.
So that's what I did for them.
Have you ever printed any of your comics like card size?
I've done a couple of my releases. The aspect ratio is not exactly it for a card.
Yeah.
So you don't have to get it, honey. No, don't get it.
That's awesome, man. Supportive.
She's awesome. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that wonderful segue, because, it truly takes a village to do all this, with 400 and something print runs, I'm a one-man show with
that's a lot of things to mail, man.
Oh, yeah, it is. And I would be still sending out my original Hank Aaron if it weren't for the lovely help of to make it happen. And
that's great, man.
So
and
great.
How old are your kid or kids?
My kid is 5 years old.
Cool.
Just turned 5 on New Year's Day, and he also helps too. There's little stickers and stuff that he puts on, and today his job was carrying the packages from our garage to the front door, getting ready to mail. So
nice.
He was excited. He loves the numbers, and so he was excited to hear the print run and say, "That's how many boxes I have." And so just
wow.
That's been a real unexpected treat of this, is just how much it's involved the family. Sure, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of work that we get to do together, and very, very grateful.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was an unexpected perk of Project 2020, taking my business in new directions, kind of scaling it up. As my sister, who also tests, is in the chat, helps with a lot of, she runs a lot of my business. It wouldn't function without her. And my dad, Patrick, also in the chat, built my website, and is continuously helping me with the tech side of things. My mom also was here in the chat earlier.
Awesome.
So it's really cool. It's like a family affair. I get to reconnect with my family digitally now, sadly now, but they're in California, Northern California, actually.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. And when you look back on this time, it's going to have, every season has its own certain flavor to it, and this is going to be that one that you got to be with your family, as distant as we have to be. You got to be with your family working on a single thing. That's awesome. Right. Good for you.
Yeah. It's great. And it's sad that it happens during COVID when the world's so crazy, but haven't ever talked to my sister or my parents as much as I do now, except when I was living at home.
Yeah.
So it's great to have them feel so close, even though they're 3,000 miles away. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And Jackson, my nephew, Jackson, also, he's awesome.
That's
He
awesome.
paints on baseball cards, and I'll send them in the mail to me. We'll make trades and stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Is your son, and actually he's about the same too. He's 5.
5, yeah.
Is your son into baseball cards or art or any combination?
He likes just baseball in general. Not as much. He likes opening the packs and whatever about the cards. He just likes the act of opening the packs. Right. And every once in a while, I like to just do an Instagram live with him and open up cards and just see what he says.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think this guy is feeling? He's he looks determined.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
Ed Olwine is looking determined. Sure.
Yeah.
And he'll be Hall of Famer, not Hall of Famer. So he, I think just despite me, he does not like the Braves at all.
Mm-hmm.
The Rockies are his team. The Rockies and the Dodgers. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, man. I can't wait till Jackson already loves painting and loves baseball and stuff, but I think it'd be so fun to take him to a baseball game or it's great. Hopefully the world gets back to normal and that can happen again.
I know. I'm really
not this upcoming season, but the following season maybe we'll be back to normal.
I hope so. I miss it. I don't know how it is for other people, but every time I would enter a stadium, if I would allow it, it would be an emotional experience, and you just the smells and the sounds and
the garlic fries.
Yeah,
I love the stadium food, man. It's one of my favorite parts about going to games. Is just the stadium food is great.
Totally. Absolutely. When I do these covers, one of my I have these little rituals I like to do to help get me in the zone, and one of the things is just eat terrible food and just put baseball on the TV, mm-hmm. and you just sit there and just kind of just just marinate in the as best as you can get, to that atmosphere.
Yeah, totally. Dustin had a good question asking about what your comic book background is. Like why comic books, I guess.
Comic books. I think 1988, 1989, like I was 9 or 10 years old, and the way I describe it too, I have my life has two circles. It's baseball and comic books.
Mm-hmm.
That there's nothing else that exists. Batman came out in 1989. I was so psyched out of my mind for that. It was just my world, and that was the extent of my interest. And I think just it's at an impressionable age, being a kid, and kind of my working theory that I've explained a couple times is that you're a kid and you're living your life, and the first 10 years you're just being that kid. You're just experiencing day to day. You're in the moment. You're living day to day, and then the next 10 years or so ish, you're like, I'm not a kid anymore. Like those are baby things. Call me Daniel now. I'm not Danny anymore. I'm Daniel. And then the next lifetime after that, you're just trying to get back to that first 10 years of wide-eyed wonder, and that's exactly what this is just recapturing, doing the best I can to recapture my youth. I love comics, and with this project, it's been really great because comics is a great vehicle for the characters, the heroes, the villains, the storylines, the redemptive arcs, the failures, all of it. It's a 150-plus-year-old soap opera, the long running narrative, and you take the baseball out of baseball, and you still have these incredible characters and narratives, and so comics really lends itself to that kind of that storytelling. And as I've been thinking about it, I feel like to put it in comic book terms, there's Superman and there's Bizarro Superman, and I feel like the Bizarro Craig Kindler, he's very much like a baseball historian, and capturing every detail to exactly how it was. And for me, it's like, well, I want to make it how it felt, how looking up at these heroes, how it felt to look at a ball player like a superhero. So you're able to kind of get behind this vehicle of the exaggeration of comics and tell these great stories and highlight these great characters.
Yeah. Were you more of a DC or Marvel?
As a kid, first blush, I was going to say DC as a kid, but aesthetic.
You mentioned Batman first, but then you mentioned Superman too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Superman DC also?
They're both DC. They're both.
Because Marvel is what, X-Men?
Yes.
And what about Spider-Man?
Spider-Man is Marvel.
Yeah.
I will say I don't walk out of movies often, but when I do walk out of a movie, it's Batman versus Superman. But I think aesthetically, now that I'm like really looking at comics for the aesthetic value of it and kind of searching it for inspiration, I appreciate the Marvel approach more so than the DC. I think it's just it's a more timeless, I think, vehicle, the Marvel style, than maybe DC was.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's dope, man. I love it.
Thanks.
So you said you usually have like you have a few things going on. Which one is the next one that you're doing? Or you can't tell us who it is because you don't
spoil it. I don't spoil it, Blake.
Oh yeah. You can give clues.
Okay, it's pinstripes. The players in pinstripes, and they're not a Yankee.
Okay. I guess that could be Mets, right? Mets has pinstripes sometimes. I don't know. I mean, I think people in the chat would probably have a better chance at guessing. I don't know. Outside of Mets, I don't know who else it could be. But I don't know.
Oh, I just saw the comments right now. I'm glad I had those off the whole time so I wouldn't be distracted by those.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. We have like a very active bunch, and and they're all friend. Oh, Matthew Lee Rosen says Cubbies. Yeah, it's like they're all catching up with each other. You know, they're a lot of friends, which is
awesome.
super fun. Yeah, they're great people.
Speaking,
and I've seen a couple people comment that they ordered the Hank.
Oh, good.
One of which being my dad, which is awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
honored.
it's great.
Yeah, it's been the people side of this thing, and it has been such a blessing. Just getting to know all these internet strangers turned internet friends.
Yeah,
it's been so cool to be able to interact and yeah, it never gets old. The novelty of it never wears off. Having people care about the work and collect it, and it's always something to me.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have well, a couple things. Do you have like a studio kind of dedicated space where you work on your creative endeavors? And second part of the question is, do you have like any display area that you have like all of your comics in one place, all your covers?
I'm going to disappoint you in two ways. No and no. A kitchen table or laying in bed or even sitting in my son's room when he's going to sleep is wherever I can, because all of this stuff is done in stolen moments, you know, here and there when I can do it. So it's wherever I can find a spot. And right now everything is in bins in the garage, and including my Dale Murphy collection. I joke that there is there's man caves is a thing. Yeah. But I have all my stuff in bins. So I'll call them him bins.
Him bins.
I just keep them in bins and put away. So
yeah.
So if you can't have a man cave, you can have a him bin.
Yeah, I like that. Mr. Shake has a question asking how do you hook up with Mike Trout to get him to sign your work? I
will for Mike Trout. That was a different story. Other players I have collaborated with. Mike Trout, that was through a private signing. I did the work ahead of time. Usually this stuff is like I'm down to the wire.
Yeah.
Stuff, but with Mike Trout, I did it a couple months ahead of time. That was a private signing, and I got that signed, and then I offered that as a giveaway. I could only afford one. I couldn't do three. I couldn't do three. Yeah. But so do one as a giveaway. So that was a lot of fun. So the print run for that one, as you mentioned, was high because of that. There was the
chance at that
chance of getting Mike Trout, and that was also the week that I was on MLB Network was when Mike Trout was open. So it was a perfect storm. So that is
perfect.
That was a blast.
Yeah, I love it, man. Awesome. Well, I'm really glad that you that we connected, and I mean, I've been a fan of your work for a long time, but it was fun to hear the story and everything. Is there anything else you want to leave the fans with? Let them know, like, you know, where the best place to reach out to you is, if they can commission work. Yeah, I don't know, anything.
Well, first of all, I do want to thank you, Blake. It's like I mentioned when I heard about what Topps 2020 was doing, like all the gears, like I said, just locked in my head, and like that's exactly what I need to do.
Yeah.
And you were the first person I reached. I had a contact at Beckett, and he put me in contact with you or pointed me in your direction, and you're the first person I reached out to, and I appreciate you and what you do, and I love watching it, being a spectator to the great stuff that you make. And in terms of me, I have an Instagram. It is Daniel Jacob at Daniel Jacob the Maker. I have a Twitter, which is unfortunately a different name, Danny_champion. Yeah, and but I have a website. That's probably the fulcrum of everything is the website. So it's popflypopshop.com, and there's a newsletter that you can subscribe to on there, so you don't miss a release. I usually put out one a week, just saying a little bit about what's about that week's release, talking a little bit about it. So, yeah,
it's awesome, man. Well, It's beautiful work.
Thank you, Blake.
And anything I can do to help you spread the word and share your art with more people, I'm down. Yeah, man, Holler anytime.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Well, I hope you have a great night. Stay safe. Everyone else, thank you guys for tuning in. We had a pretty full house tonight, which is great, and active in the comments. So very much appreciate it. I'm going to post the link one more time to popflightpopshop.com. But yeah, man, thank you. Have an awesome weekend.
You too as well.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
Everyone else, stay safe. Stay awesome.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.